Hi, I'm Senior Doom. Welcome to the Tournament of Doom. This matchup sees Jay Sims the Red going up against Broderick M16. They are both playing. We have James coming in with the Palkia Inteleon and Broderick coming in with the Lugia Archeops. Both players are currently 2-0 in the tournament as we're going into round 3, and we'll see how this goes. Now, Broderick comes in with the Yveltal start. Yveltal has become a staple in all Lugia decks. You see it coming in. It takes easy KOs against things like, well, Duraludon, because Lugia just does not like Duraludon. And it's either you play the Yveltal or you can add your own Path to the Peak in. But Path to the Peak is very, very, very restrictive on the Lugia deck. You lose if you play it too early. You lose the ability to bring your Archeops out. If you play it later and you play something like the Fish, which allows you to grab any trainer card, you lose that ability later. So as he's currently going through here with the Ultra Ball, we saw him discard, I believe, 2 Marnies. He's looking for that Lugia. Discarding the Marnies it can be detrimental to you because it is your hand disruption. He currently plays let's have him open. I believe he plays 3, but I may be mistaken. And he plays 2. So if he tossed both Marnies there, he has lost all his hands. Can be a little bit detrimental. So now as we see with James turns, he starts off the concealed cards. We do see he has the Origin Form Palkia in hand. Probably, I would assume he did not bench it early, was to prevent any sort of escape rope shenanigans, which might get stuck in the active, and you don't want to lose your Palkia right away. So we're going to see him plan out his next move here, which with the Battle VIP pass, I mean, he has plenty of ideas. He has outs. He has a lot of outs. It's just what does he want to do? As we see, he goes through checking his pricing. Now with James, he is playing the Articuno package with Emergency Jelly. He is playing the Ice Cube, probably to help go up against Regigigas. Regigigas has been a little bit on a tear coming back. It's starting to see played more in online tournaments than you are seeing IRL, but I don't ever count it out. It's still a fairly inexpensive deck, and it seems to still do very well when the luck's with you. So we'll see the double Sobble. That almost guarantees next turn the ability to be able to grab any supporter trainer card or item card, or even now tool card, which will be a separate category after rotation that they use. And Jay Sims here will pass their turn and hand it off to Broderick, who sadly we do not know the contents of their hand. So we are as far back at we only know as much information as Jay Sims does, but we should be able to get more information as they play. So Broderick's probably thinking out their move here. They have the double Lugia, so they're very, very well set, and they seem to be attaching to the second one. They are attaching one of 2 belts they have, and then we're going to see the research, which we see a Serena go, so we now know they're down at least 1 gusting effect. They play 2 Serenas and 1 Boss's Orders, so at least from James' side, you know you're a little bit safer, especially this turn. You're not going to see a KO on your Palkia, who might end up being your primary attacker, especially with a nearly full bench. So that is all of his no, that is not all of his energy. Sorry, apologies. It puts it all to the front. I was thinking those was a different search card than the Capacious Bucket, but he used the concealed cards and got 2 more, or 1 more in the Lost Vacuum. Knowing that there's no Marnies in deck anymore, James is safe to play his cards and not have to worry about losing what he has in hand. He does almost have an option to take a KO here, possibility, but he also has the chance to power up what he needs. The Irida, I'm not actually positive on how to say the name, allows them to go and find any water Pokemon they want, and on top of that, they can go and get themselves an item card, which currently, with the current rule set, is very powerful. But considering that next format, after rotation, pool cards are reclassified as their own subset. So Irida will not be able to go grab you the choice belt, and will not be able to go grab you your air balloon. Air balloon actually rotates. You are stuck with what you have. So we will see Sobble here. Got 3 Sobbles down, hard attach, and pass. So again, the Palkia is fairly well safe. With the numbers that Lugia has out, Palkia can one-hit KO any Lugia that comes up. The Lugia is going to be in danger because they have to bench 2 Archeops, and doing that will give them a full bench, which allows James to be able to go through and get their bench set and start taking turn KOs, if not KOs right off the bat. It's a very large threat, and what happens this turn for Lugia will probably dictate the rest of the pace of the game. You could see James get more aggressive, come in with him holding that boss's orders, has a scoop up net, has the Inteleon to grab 2 more cards, and can go through and just bring up on the Lugias. There is the threat that he does lose it, but is setting a quick up tempo worth it? So that is up to James on his next turn as we wait out for what Broderick will do. Broderick coming in with a monkey, taking 1 card, putting it back on top of his deck. Probably something he wanted as we see the Archeops go, but we also see 2 Aurora energy, which that actually starts to affect the Yveltal. Yveltal needs those Aurora energies, and Broderick he does play the current set of 4, but he also plays 1 hiding energy, so he needs to keep the other 2, the hiding energy and a double turbo energy, to power up the Yveltal if he wants to go in that direction. As we see, the Lugia is active now. James does not have to worry about getting KO'd. The Palkia getting KO'd. They have played Professor's Research this turn, so Boss's Orders or Serena is not effective, which they should have about 2 in their deck right now. So we will see Archeops do its thing. We'll probably see the hiding energy come out onto the Yveltal, and possibly another energy, and then power up of either the Lugia, or you could just Lugia VSTAR, or you could see the basic one. Now, one of the strong things that James' deck has is the Articuno that you see currently in hand. The Articuno is going to go, and it does about 70 damage. I'm double check my numbers right here. Yes, it does 70 damage, 50 damage to itself, but your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed. And a lot of decks are not playing outs to paralyze right now. Might see more at the Arlington Regionals that are taking place tomorrow from the day we are recording this. And so by then, you might have seen new outs. It's a possibility, as we see the Raihan come into play. And then the Evolution Incense. So by doing this, James is saving his V-Star ability. He is keeping it ready. The ability is, I always forget the ability. Star Portal. So he could Star Portal on a later turn instead of using it now and having to decide where it goes. He's going to come in with the Paralyze, which is actually a fairly strong move. If he's able to continue to Paralyze here, James is able to just prevent that Lugia from leaving, because his opponent plays 0 switch outside of Bird Keeper. So there is an out, but that one out, we don't know if they have it. They don't know if they have an easy way to it. So it's a matter of what happens next turn. We have no idea what is in the hand of Broderick. Obviously, James doesn't know either. So we're going through and hoping to see what the next play is. To me, it feels like they didn't slam down the Bird Keeper, so they don't have it in hand. They do play 2 Luminions, but their bench is full. So we're not going to see Luminion come into play. So we see the pass here, and now it's James' turn next. He has a couple options. Irida would be able to get him the emergency jelly, which will prevent this Articuno from being KO'd by itself. And able to go through and grab a Drizzile and be able to grab anything else that they please, which seems to be the Capacious Bucket right now to grab their final 2 energy. Now, interesting enough, the Lugia deck plays 0 stadiums. So by that, he could put the training court in play and not have to worry. And he's going to come in and start ping attacking with the quick shooting, which makes now every attack 90 from the Wild Freeze and not just 70. So you can see a KO coming from the Articuno. They get the KO. And then that weakens the chances of them losing the Palkia. I personally would like to see another Palkia, having a second Palkia set up, but James is probably more versed with the deck than I am right now. So I'm going to just wait and see. That's the best thing you can do with this. He has a very commanding hand. He knows he has no worries about losing this hand. He does play Roxanne, so if the Lugia does get ahead, it can lose all its cards and go be down to 2. And Lugia decks have a bad tendency to overdraw themselves sometimes. And I think that's part of what's leading to Durant seeing a little bit of a resurgence. Durant feeds off card decks that like to go through their decks very quickly. As we see the Professor's Research play here, Broderick's deck does play for Professor Research, so with those 4 gone, that is the second, I believe, or we might have 3 as well. So we will hopefully he'll have more outs, but as it stands right now, he does. We'll see the quick shooting here, some damage out, and surprisingly, James only plays 1 Inteleon with quick shooting. It's been popular for most Palkia decks lately to play 2, but they currently do not. Now, one of the interesting moves that we could potentially see here is James pick up the KO with a double quick shot, which is a possibility, and then choose its next victim, which means we could see the other Lugia come up and start being frozen in place. We could also just see a boss's orders and have the next victim already selected and just quick shot on it. So we will see what he does. I'm going to go after that. He's going to ping the bench. And we will see Wild Freeze on this turn. But that Lugia is essentially ready to be KO'd on the bench. So now we are waiting for the Lugia player. They haven't found their Bird Keeper. The Bird Keeper is what they are looking for. Bird Keeper would get them out of this paralyzed lock, which James has been maintaining. That is their only out. They only play one, and they do not play Eldegoss. There's been a couple people have been playing Eldegoss loops in Lugia as a new thing, so it becomes a little bit more. There's the Bird Keeper. Okay, so we'll see the Bird Keeper. We'll probably see the loss of Articuno, which I don't think bothers James, considering the Articuno already has 100 damage. So, see how it goes. He's powering up the Yveltal, or at least trying to. He might not even have the energy left to power up the Yveltal. Yveltal might not, but we'll see if he gets what he needs off prizes. It's still too early. For Roxanne, sadly, but we can see the boss's orders here as James will again select what they want, who they want to KO, or not even KO, who they want to lock in position. And then we're going to see the Pal Pad, probably see the boss's orders get, at least the boss's orders. And I would assume a Raihan is also another good one to put in, because now with the Raihan, it gives you back what he needs. Now my stream chat is bringing up about Emergency Jelly. Earlier in the game, he already used the Emergency Jelly with one Articuno. He plays currently one of, and he's and it's in the discard. There's no way for it to come back. Most Palkia decks find they only need one anyways, so a very strong play. And chat, you're not wrong on thinking him playing it, but it had already been played. And if you ever want to see lists from this, go to limitless.tcg.com. They have all of the online decks are available to see there. You also see deck results from IRL events, including these. So now we're set up here, spreading damage, getting things set up, and I'm not even saying toying with. It's just a slow build. He can take the KO, but he could also keep damaging the Yveltal. Like, that becomes so we're trying to see. Like, he takes the KO there. That's 2 prizes. I believe he comes 10 short from taking the next one. But he also can set himself up to have a 2-prize turn with Radiant Greninja. Or even a 3-prize. So he's got the Palkia set up. We haven't seen Serena or the other boss's orders out of the Lugia player yet, as they are actually down to 4 cards in deck. So depending on how James plays this next turn, he could wipe out the entire field and win the game with prizes. It comes down to how he plays, how he goes about it, and what does he do. I believe what happens here is he has the KO on Lugia. He could possibly pick up the quick shooting, get multiples, but he might not have it. I think he might actually be out of nets. He plays 3. I didn't see the number. But by doing so here, though, he doesn't set up game, but he is going to be in a very commanding position. Lugia is gone. They're going to lose their Yveltal this turn. So now the Wild Freeze can take a KO here. He could also just hard retreat, not even give up the prize. Oh, he misses actually the KO. Sorry, I forgot that it was not there. But now they're set up that they can still be fine. They take the KO with the quick shooting. The Palkia itself still has a star portal. And then on top of it, they have no way out of the paralyze. So we should be seeing a win here for James Sims. It seems like it is very well set up. And there it is. So this is James's deck list, who just won up against M. Broderick. He is playing the Palkia with Articuno. He does also have the Drapion Tech in deck as a possibility against Mew. Sometimes you need that extra Mew. Canceling Cologne for possibility against Miltank. Emergency Jelly to go with Articuno to give it a little bit more life to keep the Paralyze lock going. And the Pal Pad for whenever you want to bring something back. Especially considering with the Inteleon engine, you should be bringing back supporter cards anyways. He was able to win this game up against Lugia. I'm Senior Doom, also known as Zach Roy. Thank you for watching the Tournament of Doom, and hopefully see you play it someday. Hey, if you're watching this on YouTube, we are every Friday at 7:30 Pacific time, 7:30 p.m. Pacific time, and hopefully we see you.